new heels. And I want you to now drop your elbows so your hands actually come forward. And now slowly, as if you're extending your arms forward, as if you're squeezing your elbows together. And then you might feel your shoulder engaging, so drop your shoulders. As if you're putting your elbows on your knee. So now your knee and your elbows goes back together and breathe out. All the way. So we're going to do this 4 times. Sinking, sitting as far back as you can. Drop your elbows now without bringing your arms back. Lengthening your arms. Sit far back as you can now. Drop your shoulder first. Now feel your elbows connecting to your knees and both going back at the same time. So you go in as if your little finger is driving the movement. Drop your elbows on your knees. Now I need you to extend your arms forward by squeezing your elbows together. Now drop your shoulder first before your elbows and your knees go back together. One more time. In. Sinking, sitting back. Drop your elbows. Do not shrink your structure. So none of this, no holding. Now slowly extend your arms. Drop your shoulder first. Now elbows, knee, go back together. Still coming up in your open form, sitting back, sitting down. I'm going to change the position of my arm. I'm still dropping my elbow, still sinking my elbow down. I want you to hold in this position. When I say hold, not holding with the shoulders, drop your shoulders. So the height of my arm's not very high actually. So I think a lot of people think it's up there. No, it's not. It's actually, because if I'm going to drop my shoulder and not hold in my shoulder, my arms is actually quite low down. So you remember in the past, okay, I'm just going to turn back around this way. I said, imagine the floor now behind you has fallen back. There's no floor there, there's a big gap. And all of a sudden, you've got this pillar just shot up in front of you. They're like Indiana Jones. And you need to wrap yourself round it. It's quite big, so if you're going to stand like this, you're just going to fall off. So you need to hollow yourself. So this allows you to sit right back, as if your back is touching the back wall, not your bum. So you're not sticking your bum out, because that makes you lean forward. Yeah, stick your bum out, leans forward. No. Sit right back, counterbalance with your arms. So you've got energy going back, you need energy going forward. So as I said before, drop your shoulders, make your elbows are extra heavy. So they're sitting on your knees. Okay, relax, just because I need you to feel all that again. So come up in your open forms. So you're sinking, I am sinking. I'm also sitting back, as if my little finger is driving the movement. I drop my elbow, but I also change the position of my hands, of my arm. As if now my elbow is kind of facing the back wall, the back corner. And I'm grabbing, I'm hollowing my body so that I could accommodate this pillar, or else I fall backwards. So I could feel now that my lower back and my upper back is pressing against the back wall while I sit. So I'm sitting as far back as I can, as if my back is touching my back wall, as if my fingers is going forward through the screens. Okay, the back of my hands are going forward for the screens. I'm not holding into my shoulders. Drop my shoulders. All right, now I'm in business. Just hold. Okay, now I want you to drop your shoulder more. Elbows, knee, going back together. So feel the connection between your elbows and your knees. So they both do exactly the same thing together. Okay, open forms again. Very similar. Again, you drop your elbows. Again, my arms is not up here somewhere. My arms is definitely not out there somewhere because I need to hollow my body. And now I want you to push your hands together. I don't know whether you can see. My hands changes. Position of my hands changes. I'm trying to manipulate my back to do the movement. So when I'm pushing my arms together, again I have that same sensation as if my back is pushing against the back wall. So I drop my shoulder because I don't want to use my shoulder to open my arms. Try not to focus on your arms and your hands, but focus on your back. How are you going to make your arms move without moving your arms themselves? Breathe in, breathe out. So this is nice because I can sit right back, counterbalance with my arms. Again, slowly pull away, as if someone's got hold of my little finger on each side and they're pulling them away. One more time, push. Conscious about my shoulders and pull. And push. Sitting right back again. And slowly, elbows, knee goes back together. All right, I have written them down and I've forgotten what I'm going to do. All right, okay. Still in your parallel stance. Come up in your open form again. Still drop your elbows down, as if you're resting on a table now, but you're standing in the seat. Okay, imagine you're standing in the seat, and I want you to start shifting weight. Okay, you've got 50-50 at the moment, so I'm going to start shifting weight to my left leg. So if you're mirror imaging me, it will be your right leg. So I'm going to shift, but I'm going to use my foot. So when you need to sink. So when you shift weight, 70%, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about my foot, my other foot. And now I'm going to start to turn that foot round. And now I can feel everything else is turning. I'm standing in the sea. So as if I'm playing with the water. Again, now my weight has gone into my right, so it would be your left. I'm thinking about you should be thinking about your right foot. So all the weight is in your right leg, so you should be thinking about your left foot. And now the weight is slowly shifting to your left. And now your weight is in your leg, you should be thinking about your right foot. So you start turning your right foot. You feel the weight slowly transferring over. weight is over to your right, so you should be thinking about your left foot. Allowing the weight to slowly transfer across. And allow your arms to follow. No need to move your arms whatsoever. If you're doing this right, you should feel lots and lots of energy in your hands. Still feel the connection between your left and your right hands. Okay, I'm going to give you a rest, just in case your legs are screaming at you. So put everything back below your navel in your mind. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So sinking, sitting back, allowing your lower body to lift your arms, not very high. Bend your elbows or drop your elbows. Don't shrink, all right? Don't shrink. Dug eggs. Okay, you're going to start playing with the water again. So you got 50-50. So you're going to start with your foot. So you're going to, if you're going to shift your weight to your right, then you'll be turning to your left. Again, when your physical weight is in your left leg, it should be, then you should be thinking about your right foot. So start moving with your right foot. So you always think, so when your physical weight is in one of your legs, you should be thinking about your opposite foot, okay? You should start turning that foot inward, so everything else turn with it. Your arms just follow. Unless you're holding it, of course, then it's not going to follow. Again, do not shrink your structure, so I don't want you to be in here. Expand. Use the space. I always say to people, how much chi do you want? Do you just want this much, or do you want all of it? Okay? So think about that. And also think about how you want to empty your body so it's not full, sticking out. Keep going. So if your weight is in your left leg, then you should be thinking about your right foot. And put everything back again. In your dantian, in your mind. Okay. I know I've just come out into my stance again. I'm still sitting, okay? When I'm sitting, I'm not just bending my knees, okay? When I'm sitting in here. I'm sitting backwards, as if I've got a chair behind me. Okay, so I expect the same from you. Right. Not quite an open form, but I want you to sit back. If I turn this way, you may be able to see where my arm is. So if I'm just in my stance, I adjust my lower back a little bit. So when I sink, I sit back. So this is where my arm is, okay? Don't hold it, let it go. So in this position, as if you're holding a pasta dish, okay? It's about the right size. Now I want you not changing your back, your spine, and remain in that neutral spine position. You're going to go down in your hips. Don't move your arms, don't hold them. Just going down. And now I want you to make your arms make them longer. How are you going to make them longer? Use your back to make your arms longer. So I'm not bending my knees anymore. From this point, I want you to drop your tailbone back down towards your heel. so that your arm just rises on its own. I'm conscious about my shoulders, so I'm going to drop them. And I'm going to drop my elbows at the same time. Yeah, I want you to kind of make a diamond shape. I'm going to ask you to play with your elbows. Don't move anything else. But if you rotate your elbow, it brings your arm out, bring your hands apart, doesn't it? So if you then turn your elbows back in, it brings your hands back in, okay? So I'm not doing that, okay? I'm not using my shoulders. There's no shoulders involved here. Just the elbow. Just the elbow. Okay, if I now then turn my elbow in, if you see my hands changes position, you should feel lots and lots of energy. I've got tons of energy between my hands. Okay, so I want you to now drop your elbows again. So drop your shoulders, your elbows drop at the same time. Then I want you to feel your elbows sticking out a bit. And you slowly let your hands come down. Back in this position. So if you continue to go down on your hip, letting your hip lower your posture, I'm also making my arms longer by using my back. So my lats. When I'm down here, what I want you to do is I want you to play with your lat or your scapula. I'm going to move my arm further out that way, using my back muscle though. Then I'm going to use my core as well as my back, using my back to make a circle at the bottom. And then I'm going to drop my tailbone the other way. My arms come back up to here. I'm going to sink my shoulder. Sink my shoulder and drop my elbow. My hands travel up a tiny little bit. So now it's around my mouth part. Then I can imagine I'm just drinking the water. I don't know whether you notice something else. The position of my hands also changes. I'd like you to do that again. Again, and my hand just slowly turns with my hip. My spine is absolutely in the same position, but I'm going to make my arms grow a bit longer by using my lat, hollowing my body at the same time. I don't let that sensation go, but I'm going to drop. I'm going to use my back to bring my arms slightly forward, away from me. I don't know how to describe it. Using my back to open them up, using my back to create a circle. Then I slowly drop my tailbone back in the opposite direction. I'm cautious about my shoulder, so I'm going to actually drop my shoulder. By dropping my shoulder, my elbows drop. And now my hands is up here. I want you to play with that, your elbows again. Try and just turn your elbow. Your hands go out a little bit, not much. And when you turn your elbow, it brings them back in. All right. Now, just want you to flare your elbow out a bit, and you find that your hands change position again. Like I said before, I could feel as if all my fingers are touching each other. My left fingers touching my right, but they're not. Those are my chi. I hope you've got plenty in your hands. Your palms are warm. Again, I'm trying to make, so I'm opening up my qua. I'm growing my arms by using my lat. I'm moving my lat and my core muscle to create another diamond or another circle at the bottom. Then I'm still using my back to reach forward and dropping my tailbone the opposite direction. But I'm cautious about my shoulders, so I'm going to sink them down. When I sink my shoulder, my elbows sink to my knee at the same time. I'm going to ask you to play with your elbow. So I want you to feel that when you rotate your elbow, just your elbow, your hands also changes shape. Changes position, yeah? So I rotate my elbow. I'm not moving my hands. So my hands changing position because of my elbows. All the way down. Just one more time. And again, see how your hands changes position as you lower yourself down with your hip. I'm growing my arms again with my lat. So I don't need to go as far down because I'm actually making my arms longer using my lats. Dropping my tailbone the other way. So my arms is doing absolutely, 3% perhaps of the movement. Although they look as though they've gone all the way down, all the way up, coming away, coming together and out. And put everything back. In your lower dantian, in your mind. Again, this is just open form. Dropping my elbows still, nothing's changed. Extending my arm, dropping my shoulder, elbow, knees going back together. In this position, so you should still, I always use, you should feel like your Incredible Hulk, so that your back is slightly rounding, okay? It's kind of round like this. This bit goes in, you're hollowing your body as if your entire body needs to be stuck against your spine or the back wall, even better still. You've got those duck eggs underneath your arms, so you look like Incredible Hulk or holding a rice dish. You're constantly sitting, your quad is always open, your knees are always stuffed, you're always sitting in the chair. In that position, I just want you to go again into your quad, and then you find your arm just going to come down to your knees, but you don't want to put any pressure on them. You still got your round back, body shunt back. I'm going to ask you, so you're not like this, so your spine is still open, the back of your neck still open, so your vision is about 45 degrees. You're just going to circle your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then all the way down towards the floor. Let go of everything. Knees still slightly bent. And straighten up your body slowly. And breathe out. Still sinking down. Still as though you're sitting. Your arms still at the front, but not squishing, okay? Your shoulder is still kind of up on the front. Just for a little bit, you can close your eyes. Remember, your neck slightly tucked underneath. The slight suspended sensation at the top. While your physical weight going down towards your feet. And just breathe abdominally. When you breathe in, tummy goes out. Breathing out, tummy goes back in. Just for a few moments. Okay. And there we are. All right. Thank you. Right. I think, yeah. So it is past. I hope that was good. So I've put in, they're not really new movements, but it might feel like they're new movements. Just to get you to connect your body a little bit more. Yeah, so your arms connect and then just feel that it's not your arms that's moving at all. It's not your hands that are moving at all. It's your elbows that's doing it, okay? And so by sinking your elbows, that's important. And how to keep connecting your trunk to your hips, all right? And keep generating those movements starting from the feet upwards, and everything follows, okay? All right, okay, I hope you've enjoyed that. Sorry about the little, I don't know, I've lost all the messages, so I have no idea. I hope that worked. Okay, all right, so see you next week, same time and at the same site. Okay, so taddy bye for now and have a very, very good day and God bless.